And eventually, this dreadful man, Lionel Grundy, who was then the Assistant Chief Constable, arrived on the scene and made it quite clear that there were to be no negotiations and that everybody in the field was to be what he called arrested and processed.
Those of you that come out under those circumstances will be interviewed and dealt with.
You'll be locked up and dealt with. Yeah.
If I suspect that you've been involved in some of the offences that have occurred today, then you would be arrested. Well, that's it. Now, wait a minute. I'm not here to bargain with you. I'm here to say something to you for you to consider. Now, you don't have to make an answer now. You can get through to me.
We want to go to Stonehenge.
Well, the Stonehenge Festival, as you know, has been cancelled this year.
And somebody, it wasn't me, said, well, that's crazy. If you had a couple of football hooligans in a football stadium, you wouldn't arrest everybody in the stadium just to get at the hooligans. But he wasn't interested in making any distinction between those he alleged had actually committed offences and the rest. He wanted everybody.
You had no right to stop us coming in this field. We're not at Stonehenge. We're not breaking any laws. We're not at Stonehenge. You had no right to stop us coming here, and you've no right to sit out there blaming us for the damage.
What's your reaction to what that police officer has asked you to do?
Well, I'm well upset about it. I mean, he's offered us naff all. Absolutely nothing. We'd like this alternative site. If they say we can't have this one, we would like the alternative. What they're asking us to do is hand ourselves into custody like we did at Nostell Priory and get ourselves fitted up on charges that we don't want. They fitted us up, loads of us, last year. Nobody's done anything about it. Now they're about to start doing it again. And we need help. We're genuine people just like yourselves, and we need help right now.
Yeah.
Please, help us, all of you. Help us, stand by us.
The word actually used was processed. And people had had past experience of what that word means. And it doesn't just mean arrested. I mean, people through their lifestyle get arrested on a day-to-day basis. That's just one of the facts of life, I'm afraid. It's no big deal being arrested. It's what happens in the process of that arrest that's really interesting, and what happens afterwards. And at a place called Nostell Priory in West Yorkshire the previous year, some of those present in the field had been present at this earlier incident where their homes had been systematically dismantled, and a decommissioning exercise had been attempted by the police to try and put this sort of thing down.
The main super duper comes over when they've actually surrounded us, and he's asking for Boris and Doris, who are the ringleaders, as far as he's concerned, because we'd billed ourselves as was it the peace convoy that was, and it was headed by Boris and Doris, who were two geese that we had on site. So on all the fly posters it was, you know, Boris and Doris proudly present, you know, sort of thing. So they wanted to arrest Boris and Doris, and of course, you know, your arse is tweeting like nobody's business, because there's all this thing going on, and you know, and your gaffs are being wrecked right before you, and you're surrounded by all this police. And then the chief super duper marches up and he says, right, I want Boris and Doris to step out here now, as all 200 of us just fell about guffawing. I mean, you couldn't do anything else. You know, your horse is tweeting away one moment, and then there's this Looney Tooney asking for two geese to step forward, you know. Oh, that was extremely funny, that was. That was the funny moment to be told. Yeah. Wicked.
Make a miracle. Now! Open up! Are you still there, boy?
They just started attacking the bus, and they were hitting the window, the driver's window, with an iron spike about 4 foot long or so, half an inch wide. I thought it was a fencing stake to start with, but it wasn't. It was too big for that, more like a crowbar. And eventually it did go through, and the windscreen, which had been caving in, finally broke, and I went back and sort of went like that because of the glass flying over, and the spike came through the window, and it was definitely quite frightening.
Out!
All right!
Stop! Stop!
Have babies in here, very small babies! Just wait! All right.
Let the ladies come out.
Can I just talk just a minute? I've got 3 babies in
Bring the
here.
ladies and children forward, please. Officer, stop her. Take him down, she's going to take him. I didn't do anything, mate. They smashed me windows. They hit me on the head with truncheons. Then they hit me when I was on the floor. Get out! Open the door there! Come out! Stop it! Come out! Come out then! Come out, son! Come out! Just calm down! On the deck! On the deck! On the deck! Now stretch your arms out! Stretch them out! Take her away! No! No! Don't argue!
How they did it, I don't know. They ripped these doors open, and then this one single riot bobby leapt in and stood on my bed and shouted at Third Eye Jim to get out. He let Third Eye Jim out. He shouted at Mick to get out, and as Mick got to the side door, this bobby smashed him right between the eyes with this huge riot stick. And of course Mick flew out the door backwards, and then he told me to do likewise, and of course I realised as soon as I moved over to the door he was going to hit me with this stick, which he did. As soon as I got to the door, sure enough, he went to hit me right between the eyes, the same place he hit Mick, and I covered my face like that, and this baton hit me on the elbow, and of course it sent me reeling out the door. And just as they'd got me onto the brow of the hill there, because that's where they was taking our particular lot that was left, these bobbies stopped me and forcibly spun me round and made me look. They said, "See that?" And I looked at my home, and there was smoke coming out the side doors, and they'd gone and set my home on fire. And stopped me and turned me round and made me look at my home. The flames coming and the smoke coming out the sides.